Yeah, it means a lot. It might say my name, but it's the other 10 guys that was on the field as well. Without them, I wouldn't be able to get to the end zone. So it means a lot just from the sense of all the hard work that we put in from OTAs, training camp, into Sundays. So it means a lot.
You guys as a group, and specifically to the special teamers, you guys have had a bit of a roller coaster ride this year. Returns for touchdowns. How is the group doing after 4 weeks? How do you feel like you guys are?
I feel as though we put some things on film to where it's good, but then also things that we need to get corrected. But it's really good because off the situation of improving. That's our main thing, trying to improve every single week. It starts with practice, and then make sure that we do it on Sundays.
How much do you feel like this group is really like having an impact on the results at this point? Like Coach was saying at the beginning of the season, you were saying you needed you guys on this front. How much do you feel like you guys have delivered and changed the game for this team?
I feel like we've built a lot of trust. Those guys that's blocking for us, they know that we can end up getting in the end zone, whether it's kickoff return or punt return. And, that makes the guys, want to block harder or, chase more people across the field and everything. And at the end of the day, it's a long play, especially on special teams. It's not just a regular offensive, defensive play. Those guys are working for a very long time, and it's great to end up rewarding them.
Marcus, you've been up in Buffalo several times in your career. What's that experience like?
Yeah, it's different. The fan base is wild. They make it very hard for opposing teams, and looking forward to going back.
Marcus, Sunday night, prime time, just what does it mean to be playing in games like that?
Yeah, those games everyone's watching. It's a divisional game, and I'm just excited to end up having the opportunity to go back up there and, play with these guys and everything and go from there.
As far as your mindset, like what is kind of running through your head when you step out there for a punt return? Are you looking at it like this is my chance to change the game?
My main thing is getting the first down. That's the first down. I want to end up setting up the offense in a great field position, but yeah, whenever I'm back there, I'm trying to score every single time as much as I can. So. Thanks, Marcus. Oh, it gets loud. It gets loud for sure.
Appreciate your time, man.
Thank
you.
Maintain a relationship with, I'm looking forward to seeing them, but it's going to be a little bit emotional. I try to keep the main thing, but it's my first time back there. It's going to be a hell of an atmosphere. I was a part of that for a long time. I played there before I got there, so I'm excited.
Was it hard for you to leave that team and Brian saying, I mean, I've read different things. You might have won a fresh start. What's the truth behind that?
Ask that again one more time.
When you were traded from Buffalo to Houston,
yeah.
I've read different things. Either you wanted out or wanted a fresh start. What's the truth behind that?
I mean, it's the nature of the business, I guess. Obviously, it was hard for me. It was a difficult time, obviously. I spent so much time there. I built a lot of bonds, a lot of friendships. So it's obviously going to be hard and emotional. So for me, I look forward to going back, seeing those guys. And, it's just the nature of the business. I try not to, I'm not in control of nothing. What's up, little bro? I'm not in control of nothing. I get open, I catch the ball. But as far as, the internal stuff, obviously I miss those guys over there. You spend a lot of time with people, it becomes more personal rather than just professional. So when I say it's the nature of the business, that's just how it goes.
A lot of people talk about some similarities between Drake and Josh and just the way they play. Have you seen those similarities, and just what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was with a young Josh. He wasn't that young, and then obviously I'm with a young Drake right now. But I see the similarities. I try not to get into player comparisons at all. They're two different young men, but I see why they say that they all play with that mindset, that dog mindset, and I see Drake coming along the same way. So. I see why, but I try not to get into too much of a fair comparison. Two different men, two different grown-ups. You got to ask them.
Steph, I know this is a Sunday night, obviously up in Buffalo. That means extra to you, but just in general, going to a big spot like this, national broadcast, is this the kind of game that you get up for?
I get up for every game. Obviously, you get excited, but try not to get too overzealous. It is another game, but it's a division game. More importantly. All the things that kind of play a role outside of that. Me being there before, obviously people are going to make that a huge thing. And it is a huge thing for me. I got a lot of respect and I got a lot of love for that city and, that fan base and even the players over there. So, kind of on social media, we still, take jabs at each other, support each other. But it's just going to be so nice to see those guys. For me, I try to be as professional, but, obviously I hold them near and dear to my heart. Football means a lot to me. And the guys that I spend a lot of time with over there, I'm going to give them a big hug.
How much do you feel like this team is ready for prime time, just coming off that win, that you feel like things are starting to click?
I feel like we don't got a choice. I feel like football going to be full each and every week. you coming off a win, you want to, I guess, have the same recipe you had last week as far as like working hard, as far as like being ready. Whether you're ready or not, Sunday gonna come. So I feel like you get the confidence from the reps inside practice, and just got going with the right mindset. It's definitely gonna be one of those exciting environments. I feel like we're a young team, but we got some older veterans. Obviously that have been around the league, so it's still football at the end of the day. But will it be exciting? For sure.
Do you embrace the challenge of being able to move forward and kind of build on the momentum you personally after last week's game?
I mean, obviously, each week is different. I hate to say obviously, but each week is different. You never know how it's going to come up. For me, I feel like I spoke to it in the beginning of the season, kind of echoed it throughout the first couple of weeks. We got a lot of guys that can make plays at a high level, not just receivers, running backs, even our quarterback get to scrambling around. So just doing your job is going to be key this week, going into a hostile environment and everybody being on the details. That's what it's going to come down to. It's not just the X's and O's, it's the Willie and the Joes. So,
How do you,
so much about it.
how do you feel about moving around the offense, whether it's in the slot, on the outside, being moved around, and has that made it any more difficult to learn the offense?
No, when I said, I spoke to him the other day, when I said it was a 5 out of 10, obviously I was being facetious or like sarcastic in a way. Just because I look at it as I never want to get too comfortable. I said 5 out of 10 because, if it's 8 out of 10 and 9 out of 10, I ain't really got to look at my notes. I ain't really got to look over it multiple times. But for me, I'm just try to keep it at a comfort level of being hungry and, humble each and every week, not going and thinking I got it all figured out because that offense does throw some curveballs at you. So for me, moving around, it's part of my being a professional, part of me being in the league for a long time, being trusted. I don't know where I'm going to be at, but wherever I'm at, I'm going to try to get open and catch the ball. I promise you that.
Did Vrabel give you some stuff for that 5 out of 10 comment at all?
Nah, he knew I was being sarcastic. He knew how much time I put in and how hard I worked, especially during the week. You would be able to tell if I was out there effing up.
Because it's so early in the year still, how much untapped potential do you think this offense has?
I mean, you never know. I feel like we got a lot of the best stuff out in the beginning. When we fell on our face a couple of times, self-inflicting wounds and penalties and, even on the outside with us, like everybody just doing their job. You see the recipe works when everybody's doing their job, specific job, and playing clean football. When penalties happen or we start behind the 8 or not in the green, we don't play our best football, but who does? And then we see our game that we had like 4 or 5 turnovers and we lost by 7. So it is like a margin for error when it comes down to football, but, we try to limit it and, we play better when we're doing it right.
Does it hurt you at all, as you said, when you don't start in the green, when you start in the red, that you guys have been able to fight back out of those balls?
Yeah, obviously keeps you in a mindset. I don't want to curse, but effort, I guess. Move on to the next play. Quarterbacks involved, receivers involved. All of us have had plays that we probably won back, but your next play is your best play is what we echo each and every play, and we try to say the F word, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Just because, you can't do nothing about it.
Stefon, you mentioned to be a hostile environment there. How often did you see opponents have a hard time going up there and just being on their details, and how do you guys try to make sure that you combat that?
It's crazy because, being on the other side of it, I saw it, I witnessed it multiple times, week in and week out, just being on the other side. So going in there and only way you can control the environment is staying in the green, getting behind the 8. The fans and everybody else, they feed off it, just like any fan base, but that fan base in particular, they're going to look to be rowdy on certain downs, on early downs, and put you in mistakes and put you in a bad spot. So going in there, and handling it well is going to be big for us. And, it's another test for us. I feel like we've had multiple tests throughout this season. Some of them we answered, some of them we didn't. We're going to do everything in our power to go in there with the right mindset. And, I've been there for a while, so I'm trying to give them everything, at least a little bit that might help.
Any surprises to you over the first 4 weeks of the regular season?
Surprises? Not really. It's still football. It's the same football I was playing since I was 5. So it's not so much surprises, just more so, taking each week one day at a time. For me, I feel like I've been doing it for a long time, but I don't take it for granted. For me, I go in with the right mindset. I'm trying to grind. Like right now, I couldn't wait to get back to work, especially after the game. We look like an offense. We look like something that, people can kind of, get ahead of themselves, but try not to put the carriage before the horse. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to play well. We got some good players. Y'all should be playing well.
Any caution over the first 4 weeks with the knees?
For me, no.
For you specifically.
You know what I'm saying? For me, no. I didn't you know, anything, anybody.
Like cutting it loose or
Yeah.
anything? Or?
Nah, I'm not scared at all. For me, you know, I trust that I put the time in. I trust that, you know, my rehab process with Dr. Reeve and then even with the team and how we kind of managed camp. You know, everybody wasn't too happy about camp, but how they managed me in camp, knowing that I needed a short leash. You know, if you gave me too much leash, I was just going to, you know, run myself in the ground. But for me, I feel like I'm in a good spot. You know, I try not to talk about injuries too much, but cut on the tape, I look halfway decent.
Going back to the test, Coach was saying Sunday, we'll see where we're at.
100%.
Talking about Buffalo, yeah. I mean, how much do you see this as like kind of a measuring stick kind of game?
I mean, that team has been good year in and year out. Great, you know, as far as like great fan base. It's always played a key part. The coaching staff has always done a good job. They always had a sound defense and guys that make plays on offense. Things haven't changed, especially since I left. I know that team well, so it's going to be another test for us. Like answering the bell is going to be key for us, but you know it's a measuring stick. Like, you know, it's early on for us, just like it early is for them. Like they've had some good games these past couple games and pulling it out strong. So it's going to be big for us to be on the details, and we can't leave no stone unturned. You know, leave no crumbs, I guess.
Can you help either intel on how to defend Josh Allen or how to attack their defense?
I don't really get into X's and O's. Like I feel like, you know, that's the coach's job is to watch, you know, hours and hours of tape. I can't tell them nothing that they're not already seeing, you know, as far as like, well, I can tell you as far as a player, we know what kind of player Josh is. He's an amazing player. If you want to cut the tape on or you want me to tell you that, it doesn't really matter. So, and there's some other guys on that offensive scheme that get things done. So for me, I try not to get into the, you know, I guess like, I don't know, thinking I got some type of secret recipe to beat somebody or something. Nah, go out there and play sound, play good football. They give yourself the best chance to win. So we got to have a good week of practice as far as like earning the right, and I'll see y'all on Sunday night.
What's unique about the Bills' defense this year compared to maybe some of their units in recent years?
I feel like it's the same. Like I always feel like they always have a good defense. You know, people kind of, you know, say this, that, and the third about them, but I've watched them and I've been a part of that team for a while, and you know, seeing them, they're sound. They're gonna fly around, and you know, they got guys on the back end that are extremely smart. They keep some active corners, like some guys that like to play aggressive, some guys that don't. And that interior, you know, Ed Oliver is a game record if you let him. You know what I'm saying? So, and you got some guys on the end. So like, they just always had a good team, and it's a really good coach team. You know, shout out to Sean McDermott. So for me, I don't think it's nothing new as far as like this year. You know, they're gonna be coached well. And it's gonna be a test for us. I look forward to it.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
How much do you get up for a matchup like this now to be back in time to face Josh?
Oh yeah, anytime. I mean, I've seen him 2 times a year, so I mean he's an amazing quarterback. Everybody knows what he can do. So I mean we look forward to the challenge of the defense.
When CD first got here, Coach was talking about how he was excited about just cat coverage, just throwing you guys out there. Do you feel like you're ready for that kind of mentality?
I mean, yeah, we always are. Anybody is. As a corner, that's what you want. You know, you want to be on that island. That's the nature of our position. So, of course, we're ready for it.
It's been a minute since y'all had a night game. What do you think about that?
It has been a while. Night games are always fun. I mean, prime time, everybody gonna be watching. Excited for it. I mean, it's like everybody's gonna be watching. That's what you want as a player, as a team. So we're excited.
First week back for you, getting back to that normal routine. Do you feel good about where you are right now physically?
I'm ready to go. I'm excited. It's football.
What jumps out to you just about the Buffalo experience, like from rolling in on the bus ride and seeing the guys waiting for you? Like what stands out?
Yeah, the first time I seen that last year was pretty crazy. I heard about it, but then being able to, you know, actually be in that environment, it's a great environment. Like it's pretty close to like a college like type of, you know, super rowdy, you know, the fans are right there, that type of environment. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun to get out there with you know, rowdy fans and just go out there and compete.
Christian, to beat the Bills, you guys would have to take the next step in this league. Do you think your team is ready for this next step up?
Yeah, I mean that's what we always want to do is take the next step. You know, so it starts today. Started this morning with meetings and just, you know, correcting what we had to correct from the past game, and then, you know, getting ready to face one of the best you know, offenses and quarterback in the game. So I mean, it's a challenge, but we look forward to it.
I think you guys have given up opening drive touchdowns in 3 of the first 4. How important is it to prevent that, especially with a team like the Bills who can get rolling really quickly?
Yeah, of course. You know, we got to start fast. That's the name of the game, is always starting fast. You know, that's what we got to do is just try to start fast and get on a roll and get Josh off the field.
How much does the Josh Allen factor kind of take over the game plan, just knowing that he's, possibly going to take off and is, like a big dude to bring down in his own right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's only so much you can, prepare for because, I mean, at the end of the day, Josh runs around and the scramble drill is big. All that's huge. He creates so many plays with his legs. So, I mean, it's hard to, prep for it and get it in practice. You just got to get out there and go to work.
Do you notice anything different about Keon Coleman's game in year 2 compared to year 1?
Yeah, I mean, he looks good. He looks like he's improved. He's always working. He's always, getting those releases in and just trying to better himself, just like everybody else in this league. So excited for the matchup. It'll be fun.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
You want to be a penetrative defense. You want to be an aggressive front 4, front 7. But at the same time, how do you kind of balance that challenge with maintaining gap discipline against the guy?
I'll say this every week. We just, as a D-line and as a defense, we just got to be on the same page and just executing. We know the type of player that we finna see this week. MVP last year, y'all see he doing something crazy every Sunday. So we just got to be ready for it. We know what he can do. Communication got to be on point. If you see something and we want to run a game, make sure that we communicating it and guys being where they're supposed to be. But it's gonna take everybody. It's gonna take everybody for sure.
How much do you feel like this group is just ready for prime time?
Oh no, these are my favorite type of games. In the lights, prime time, everybody watching these the type of games that I live for. So it's gonna be good. I was just talking to somebody like we ain't had no night game or no primetime game in a little minute. So this will be a good one. Division opponent, it'll be a good one.
You figure night game in Buffalo of all places. I mean, what do you think that environment's gonna be like?
I've never been there. I mean, I'll be seeing the videos and the clips of the fans going crazy and jumping off stuff, throwing snowballs and all that. So it ain't snowing yet, but it's definitely those fans look like they die hard. It's going to be a fun environment to play in.
Other than the obvious physical, I mean, the size, the speed, the arm strength, what makes Josh so good?
You just said it. Everything. I feel like since he got in the league, he just continued to get better and better and learn more. And he got the keys. Like he can do whatever he want back there. He can call whatever he want. If he want to run the ball, I mean, they can get it big people, make it look like they're finna run power, and he can just take it out the back door if he feel like it. So, he got it all, really. You really think about it, he got it all. So, as I said, it ain't gonna be just the D-line, just any particular group. It's gonna take everybody being on the same page and executing.
Milton, you mentioned the big personnel. They've a lot of two tight end, fullback. They embrace that stuff. What sort of challenge does that put on the defense when they go heavy like that?
I mean, it's football. Football at the end of the day. They go big, we go big, and we'll see who come out winning that matchup on top. That's what football is about. And like I said, it's a good matchup for us. Probably the best line we've seen this year. So it's gonna be a good challenge.
What's made them so effective?
What makes them such a dominant team?
They got some big dudes. They kind of remind me of like when I was in Philly last year. Everybody is just huge humans. And they just kind of they got Josh Allen back there, so he make them right. He correct a lot of the things if they don't do something right, but they just big guys to get around, and they'll lean on you in the run game. So you got to be ready for that, but I think we're ready for the challenge.
So everybody talks about Josh Allen, and rightfully so, but James Cook, I think, is second in yards rushing and number 1 in touchdowns in the league. What makes him a problem?
Don't forget about him either. Special back. The tape I done seen in the games I done watched, he done been doing it all. Don't blink or he'll be by you. You got to be good in tackling, be good tackling him. Being gap sound, he'll put his foot in the ground and retrace. But we definitely can't forget about him. We definitely watching some tape on him this week.
Do you enjoy game planning for a quarterback of the caliber of Josh Allen, like any more than maybe others, just because you're kind of looking to see if there's any flaw that you can find?
It's just when you know you playing against like a generational player and a talent like that, to just be on the field going against them and competing with them is just a fun thing to be a part of. But then let alone trying to beat them, that's just another. It just add a little bit more of fun to the challenge. And then if we pull it off, you know, that'll be a good one. But like I said, it's a division game. We'll see them twice, so prime time. It's gonna be a good one.